Change of plans. Just got in the back of the truck. It's getting pee on myself. Good morning, everyone. We are currently in Watson Lake. We got here, I don't know, like 40 minutes ago. We did what we said we were not going to do again and slept in the truck last night in the same stretch as last time when we did it. And this time Zach had an awful sleep as well, because I said, can I sleep in the driver's seat? Because last time I woke up like 2 hours earlier than you and I just sat there on my phone waiting for you to get up, but I didn't have service. So I was playing like a non-internet needed game for 2 hours. I was like, I don't want to do that again. So I'd rather do it that once I wake up, I can just start driving and you can just stay asleep. So that happened. The lights randomly turned on in the truck like 4:45. So I was like, well, now I can't fall asleep. Started driving. Got to Watson Lake at about 6:45. So we're just here for a little bit of a charge, and then we are on our way to start this last leg of our trip, which should take about a week to get home, I think. We are currently ahead of schedule by a couple of days. First stop is going to be the Laird River Hot Springs. And then we are going to Muncho Lake, where they have a bunch of trails, and we'll walk the dogs there and then sleep somewhere around Toad River, I think. Not in the truck. We will be using the tent tonight. Also, last night we parked at something wild campground or something. It's like a rest area, but it's just like called a wild campsite. I don't know. There's only one other vehicle there. And we saw the Northern Lights, so that was wonderful. I saw them a few days ago in Eagle Plains, but Zach had to wake me up and I got out of the tent a little bit too late to see the dancing part, but last night they were dancing. And then Kelso woke us up growling at like 2:30, and we were like, what the heck? We looked out the window and I thought it was like a baby bear, but it looked like a dog, and Zach's like, I think that's a wolf. So we're now saying that it was the Grim. He's pretty sure it was a wolf. I think it was too shaggy to be a coyote. That was a little bit exciting for 2:30 in the morning, and then I had some weird dreams after that. I told Zach he has two options. I can drive and we keep listening to our audiobook, which we are listening to Fall of Giants by Ken Follett, which I've read a couple of times and Zach has not. And I thought I'll just pick an audiobook that I think he would like, and he is really enjoying it. So I said, I can drive and we can listen to that, or you can drive and I can sleep and read my own book. So he's like, yeah, you can drive. I am feeling homesick. I think I'm so ready to be in my own house and in my own bed, and I want to cook really yummy dinners, and I want to bake. That's a huge bird. What the? Anyway, I miss my house. And then I read a Cozy Fantasy where they were baking all these new things. And I was like, I want to bake and I want to cook. And my TikTok, when I have the time to go on it and we have internet, it's just all fall soup recipes. So I want to go home. I want to cook so bad. I want to eat a home cooked meal. I think 2.5 weeks is my limit. What day are we on? Day 19. So almost 3 weeks. I think that's my limit. I miss the comforts of life. But you know what? It is fun doing this and then coming home and having those things and just appreciating them that much more. I'm looking forward to that feeling. Not to say I'm not excited for the next week. I am still going to make the most of it and have a lot of fun and hopefully see lots of new things. I might be singing a different tune when we're like in Clearwater, 5 hours away from home, and we spend the night there, but I don't think so. I think I'm okay with it. Back to Watson Lake has all been repeats of stuff, which is beautiful. It is beautiful, but I am excited to see some parts of BC that I've never seen. It's really fun exploring your home province. I highly recommend. Encountered our first actual broken charger, and we have 15% battery left, and I think we will need about 60 to get to the next location. So we're going to be in the area of the hot springs for a while. We were planning on only being here for an hour because it's a fast charger, but Zach called BC Hydro and they said, oh, this one broke yesterday, so the next one is an hour and a half away. We're not going to make it with what we have, so Zach is starting the generator, which is not what we wanted from today. We were like, oh, maybe we can make it even farther than we thought. Fort Nelson is like 3 hours away from here, and it's 11:30 a.m. At this rate, I think we get 19 kilometers an hour. I don't know how to do that math, but I do know that we're going to be here for hours. It's all part of the game, right? I'm an impatient person, so this is teaching me patience, and that this is part of having an EV and doing this road trip, is because we knew things like this would happen, and I'm just glad he is prepared and has a generator. The lovely sound of a generator. We've decided to just use a full tank, so 3 hours. See how far we can get with those 3 hours. And then
do it again if we have to, if we don't make it to the next charger. So we're gonna walk the dogs now, and then we're gonna go to the hot springs, and then we're gonna hang out probably for an hour. We'll be here for 3 hours. That's not so bad, but the next place might also be 3 hours.
Okay, we charged with the generator for 2 hours. We went in the hot springs. It was lovely. Very weird. We got there and we said instantly we got the sulfur rotten egg smell, but not rotten. It didn't smell like fart eggs. It smelled like egg salad eggs. The surface was so hot, and then you just get like random pockets of heat. Very cool. And then Zach did some research and found Northern Rockies Lodge half an hour away that has an 8 kilowatt charger. So our generator was only 5.4, so it's gonna be a little bit faster. And he called them and asked if we could pay them to use it. So I think we'll make it to Toad River tonight, which was the plan. We will just be a little bit later than we thought, but that's okay. I overreacted. I did. And you got huffy.
You don't say.
Because you get huffy.
And you overreact.
No, when I ask you one thing when you're trying to do something, you get huffy. And then I overreact because I think we're stranded for life. Oh, it's so pretty here. This mountain. We've seen a couple of herds of buffalo. Bison? Bison. I said bison and you said buffalo, so I thought I was wrong.
Buffalo's a better word.
But they're not buffalo. But we saw a couple of herds of bison, and we saw a wolf, but I didn't get my camera on time, my phone or my camera. Anyway, it's been an interesting day, but I will say one thing. If you're not sure if you're with the right person, I just had a speech impediment.
Yeah, I love it.
If you're not sure if you're with the right person, go on a road trip in an electric vehicle, or any vehicle, probably. Well, it's so rocky here. And you'll know pretty quick, because I couldn't do this with anybody else, and at least we laugh about being overreacting and huffy. Always be camera. We got the moose, we got the bison, we got
Wolves.
the caribou, the wolf we saw and didn't film, the fox I have a photo of. We just got to see an elk in the wild. What is that? What is that? What is that?
Mooses.
Mooses.
Another cow.
Oh, babies. And we just see a bear, but that's okay if we don't, because this is already amazing. Well, we see black bears all the time. We never see brown bears. Black bears are rampant where we live. I saw a thing once, I told Zach about it. Someone was like, what would you rather encounter, a black bear or a cougar? And everyone who was watching it was like, oh, bears are so scary. No. Cougar will fuck you up. We used the generator for 2 hours. There was a thing at this lodge that Zach found that they have like the, what is it called? Protocol. It's their rule that you only use it till 5 p.m. But no one checked in today who had an EV, so we stayed there until about 20 minutes ago. So we have 76 kilometers on the battery, and 34 kilometers until the next BC Hydro station. So we're gonna be plugged in there and hopefully can cook dinner. It's 7 p.m. and I'm very hungry. But maybe we'll see an elk or a bear the rest of the way. So if you want to see all these wild animals, go drive the Alaskan Highway in northern BC. They're rampant today. Is that too dark? No. We've made it to Toad River Lodge, where we are getting a full power charge. So we're gonna stay here. It is late. 8 p.m. dinner. We're gonna stay here. I think it's just gonna take an hour, maybe a little bit more. And then we're gonna drive to Fort Nelson, which is 2 hours away, and then decide where to set up our tent. Got some stuff from Superstore before we left Whitehorse. Zach has samosas, and I have honey garlic pork with fried rice bowl. It sounds great to me. Just cooking on the back of the truck. The lights turned on just in time for this chefing it up. I cannot believe we've been eating out as much as we have. That worked splendidly. Took 5 minutes. It's so good. I realized at the last minute I should have added some of the egg white from the carton we have, but so good. Good morning. We made it to about 40 minutes outside of Fort Nelson last night and then camped at a recreation site that was like 5 kilometers off the highway, and there was no one else there, but there was like a row of 15 trucks, probably all on the water. boating, hunting, fishing, who knows. So it was busy, but it wasn't busy at all. So that was an interesting experience, but it also was nice because we had this whole big campground essentially to ourselves. So changing out in the open was fine. That doesn't need to be a point. It's nice for the dogs to run around this morning there. And then we got to Fort Nelson and there were guys working on the charger. They said it would be a couple of hours. They are coming up the way we're going down, fixing all of the chargers and just doing some maintenance on them. So that should mean that all the ones on the way back home are all fine because they've hopefully looked at all of them already. So we're just leaving Fort Nelson. It's 11:30 in the morning. Where do we have to make it to? Fort St. John, which is how far away? Hours. It's one of the longer drives. Okay, it's gonna take us about 6 hours to get to Fort St. John, which we have a hotel booked tonight, and then we'll probably do camp after that, Tumbler Ridge, hotel in Mackenzie, camp in Clearwater, and then we're home. So really there's only 4 more nights after this, which is kind of bonkers. So that's gonna be a long drive, obviously with chargers in between, but we're in the Yukon and other parts of northern BC, we had 50 kilowatt chargers. Now we should hopefully have 100 plus kilowatts. The one we just used was 180. We were here charging very short after they were done the maintenance on it, but just made a coffee in the back. I've been craving yogurt covered pretzels for days and just found some at the Save-On in Fort St. John. So I have those and we're ready to go. I feel like yesterday I was living on a high after seeing all of the wildlife. We saw way more moose than I even got on camera. And like I said, we saw the wolf after waking up to one at 2 in the morning the night before. We saw one just on the side of the road, like a gray wolf. It was so beautiful. So I'm living on a high from that, and now I know that the wildlife is going to go down. So way less sightings of wildlife. So I'm glad we saw what we did yesterday. Also saw 3 porcupines separately. One was huge, and you don't know what's there until it's beside you, so you can't get a photo of it because it looks like a broken tire until you're beside it and realize it's a porcupine. 4 more nights of this, and then I get to sleep in my own bed. And I'm very excited. We left Fort St. John this morning. It's not funny. And we are now in Dawson Creek, which is super cute. You talk about it a lot, so I thought it would be cuter. They have little murals on all the side streets. It's really nice, but everything's closed. So on our way up in Cache Creek, everything was closed on the Tuesday, and now it's Monday. Visitor center's closed. We were gonna go into this little shop, closed. Got a coffee. I got a Rocky Road bar that I'm gonna enjoy now. We are going to Tumbler Ridge today, which is really close, I think, right? So we'll get lots of walks in there. My mom makes Rocky Road bars with peanut butter, but I'm guessing this doesn't have. Oh, it has peanuts in it.
I think that's part of it.
Nice. Our hotel had continental breakfast, which is really nice. That's only the second time that's happened. I also didn't realize pulling in like right before Fort Nelson and leaving Fort Nelson, it was so nice and green, and I didn't realize how much I missed the green, lush grass that we have at home. So it does feel like we're almost there. Now it feels like I'm just trying to journey home. We also, our volleyball team messaged, they said they only had 4 people who could play this week and he's having trouble finding spares. So we now have a goal to get home by Thursday at about 5. So we have a couple hours before volleyball and can play on Thursday. So it's Monday today, and now we know for 100% certainty that we'll be home Thursday evening. So that is really nice, but also we've been living off of chips and candy for about 3.5 weeks now. So playing volleyball is going to be a little bit rough right off the get-go. That's okay. This feels like the right place to listen to Kenny Chesney.
Resting up for a long, long night when the sun goes down.
Yes, I love it.
Another day. Another
dollar.
Carla being hangry because we didn't eat until 1:30. But we went to Twisted.
You're the worst.
What's it called? Twisted Seasons. We went to Twisted Seasons Bistro in Tumbler Ridge. So good. And the lady serving us was also cooking the food. It was delicious. And I got 2 starters for my meal because it was decently priced, which is hard to do. I used to always get 2 starters, and then restaurants started making starters be the same price as entrees. So I don't do that anymore, but it was a little bit cheaper here. And now we're going to the museum. We did the visitor center. They don't have stickers, so we're hoping that the museum has some stickers. We were gonna do it tomorrow morning, but it's closed Tuesdays and Wednesdays. So it's 2 o'clock, it closes at 5, so we're gonna go now. Dino, what's it even called? It has a name like that, right?
No, I think it's called the Tumbler Ridge.
Museum? The sign says, Dinosaur Discovery Gallery. I was right. We're going the other way.
Yeah, I was in the wrong lane and there's someone beside me. It was awkward.
I was like, are you just trying to prove me wrong by going a different direction? It is Dino. I was not wrong. That's not a good Yui place. Okay. So we're gonna go there, and then we're gonna do 2 hikes, which say they're longer on the Tumbler Ridge site than they do on the All Trails site, so shouldn't be that long of hikes. So we have had a classic Zach and Carla change of plans. It's called being spontaneous, which I'm really bad at, but also, you know, homesick and want to do really good hikes, which we could here, but we hiked 2 waterfalls that were nice. They were nice, but we know we're going to Clearwater, and we know that there are very nice, wonderful waterfalls in Clearwater. It's 5:30ish. We got to the RV park that's in Tumbler Ridge, and we drove through it, and it's like side-by-side sites, no trees. We don't want to camp here. We'd rather camp at another pullout like we did 2 nights ago, and they don't have any of those nearby. So we're like, let's just drive to the next charge station, which is 2 hours away. Let's eat dinner there, and let's decide what to do from there. If we see a rest stop right after, we'll stop there. So we're just gonna drive a little farther, and it's kind of exciting. Anyway, I gotta put my shoes back. Are we ready to go already? You ready? Oh! That was the weirdest noise you've ever made.
Yeah, we can go anytime.
It's 200 kilometers away.
There's a charger in Chetwynd too.
You know, a pullout where there's a little freedom is just nicer. I should have got that on tape. Zach said, we could just drive through the night and be home in our own bed. And I said, no, we should do it. He said, yeah, maybe we can do that tomorrow instead. To get home Tuesday instead of Thursday, which actually we were supposed to be home Saturday. We were already cut out 2 days. It's crazy. Oh. But I'm also okay with driving lots. I'm having another... What?
I gotta get my headphones set up.
Right. Zach's listening to the audiobook on my phone now because I want to read my book because it's really good. And the book we were listening to, I've read a few times. So like, just listen to it yourself. But he's been wearing my headphones and he hates my headphones. So here's my phone. And I'm having another Starbucks vanilla sweet cream cold brew. I don't like the double shot things. They taste like melted frappuccinos to me. But this, a cold brew, just is better than a latte in a can, I think. So this is the go-to and it's hard to find. Only the second one we've seen.
I can't hear you anymore. At last, they made love. That was the last 30 seconds.
Oh, yeah, I love ya. Let's get out of Dodge. Okay, it's not a bad place. I'm saying it's like it's a bad place. It's not a bad place. We're just ready to move on. It's 8:20. We've officially decided to scratch off another day and drive all the way to Prince George tonight. And then have one more night in Clearwater. And then we're home on Wednesday night instead of Thursday night. And that actually sounds great to me. You know what's a real humbling experience? Your husband peeing in a bush, your dogs peeing on the grass by that bush, and you breaking out the camping toilet and the baby wipes.
I'm gonna say, Thank goodness I have a camping toilet.
Thank goodness I have a camping toilet and I don't have to risk getting pee on myself. We leave in half an hour. We'll be there by 11. Hopefully get a hotel room in the same hotel we've stayed in before, which was really nice and has dog-friendly rooms. And if they don't have them, we're sleeping in a Walmart parking lot. Update for you. We went to Rachel Coffee in Prince George. Best cinnamon roll I've ever had. We just left Prince George. We got there at 11, as we thought we would, and they had one room left, and it was dog-friendly. And Zach said the lady saved us 20 bucks? 30 bucks. We don't know why. We're making our way an hour for the ancient forest. So that's our first stop of the day. We are set up for our last night of camping. It's a great campground because our site is like, has a moat and everything goes uphill. And we're not close to anyone else. So the dogs are off leash and they're doing great right now. We're gonna do it for a little while longer, see how it goes, but so far so good. Going to eat all the food that we have that we can eat. It's gonna be a big night for perishables. We did the ancient forest, which I think has been my favorite walk on our whole 3-week trip. I love a boardwalk. It was an entire boardwalk. The trees were beautiful. The light was coming through nicely. There was a waterfall at the end. It was so nice. We did Dawson Falls and Helmlinson Falls just tonight before we came camping, and then tomorrow we're gonna do another waterfall.
I'm about to leave the last campground of the trip. We're going home, baby. Just clean up the tent.
Forgot to do an outro, but we got back from our trip yesterday. We slept in our own bed. It was wonderful. You know what I missed more than the washing machine and the shower and all the stuff was my slippers. I missed putting my slippers on every morning. That was so nice this morning. I think that was a once in a lifetime opportunity, so I'm glad that we did it. But I also think 3 weeks is too long. I'm glad that we shortened it by 3 days because it was gonna be almost 4 weeks. What you don't see is all the laundry next to me that has to get done today and like my empty fridge. Which is actually kind of fun. I think this part of a trip might be my favorite, is coming home. Is that sad? Maybe that's a bad thing. I don't know. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you next time.